Hello everybody, what's up? Dennis Allen, City Boy, Homesteader here. Can you see it? Yeah. So that's the 9/11 lights. Today is 9/11. I really think it is. It may not be. I don't know. But that thing's over, I guess. It ended September 5th. Is today September 9th? I don't know. Monday. That's all I know. So here's a little treat. You're not gonna be able to see much until we're gonna head over to get a really cool view of the city and the lights and everything. But just want to start off here behind the Liberty Science Center. Yeah, 3 words. We're back here. We are not going urban exploring for sure. This is a little place where people walk their dogs, like Eddie Murphy. Come on. All right, here's bright over here. Good. See, it is me. Just in case some people thought it wasn't me. There's Eddie Murphy. There used to be. Oh. Okay, we're back. So, my 9/11 story. I don't remember what year it was, but I was living in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And Elizabeth, New Jersey, that's where I was living. And I was working for, first of all, real quick side story, I lived on a sailboat in Florida Keys, Marathon. But after that, I finally grew up. I was actually working at a marina. There's one back there. And yeah, worked at a marina, yada, yada, yada. Came back, yeah, started working for Verizon Wireless. I became one of the best in the business, so they put me in Manhattan. I was dating a beautiful Asian girl that literally bought a condo, look, Jersey City Police, right down the street, and her bedroom window looks right up at him, like this. Holy cows, look at that thing. Sandy Hook. Yeah, so we were living in Elizabeth. She was just buying a place when she bought it after September 11th. That's when I kind of lived there. But anyway, so we were coming from Elizabeth, New Jersey, going on the train, the New Jersey Transit number 9 on the New York, look, there's lightning, transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, back. Anyway, so we were on the train, and I was sitting away from the window, but we could see the Twin Towers. And as soon as, look, there's the Statue of Liberty. See, I wasn't lying. It's the Statue of Liberty, folks. What were we talking about? As soon as the first plane hit, I looked at the Statue of Liberty, and I was probably not this close. That's the new, not the World Trade Center. That's the new one. But I was probably about this far, further, a little bit further than this. We were in about Secaucus on the railroad, and I'm looking at it in the distance. There's lightning. That's weird. Well, it's not weird because it's been lightning all day. You should watch the other video that I filmed today. It was mind-blowingly cool. And I saw it, and there was a puff of smoke, like a brand new puff of smoke on, I guess, I don't know what tower got hit first, but the one on the left. So if you're in, anyway, I'm sure someone can figure it out. So first puff of smoke, and I'm sitting there, me, this guy, and my girlfriend, Amy, we'll call her, because that's her name. No, it's not Amy. Oh wow, look at that. So the first plane hit, I look at it, and we're driving in, and people are like, oh, it must be a fire. We're trying to use our, you know, iPhones, and they weren't invented yet, so we didn't know what was going on. So I was like, wow, that looks like an explosion, because, you know, they tried to blow it up before, and Yeah, ironically, the first place I bought here in Jersey City, they lived across the street from me. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, that's a puff of smoke. That's, you know, if it was a fire, it would trickle out. I'm telling her, with this guy in the middle. And you know, we're just watching it going into Manhattan. Not really thinking too much of it because airplanes hit buildings all the time. I know years before there was a Yankee player that crashed into something way uptown. Yeah, things hit buildings all the time, man. It's weird. Look at that. We're getting closer and closer. Can't really, you know, nothing's happening. No internet, no one knows what's going on. I think it's a bomb. People are on the train saying it's just a fire. And, you know, so we go into the tunnel that runs underneath, and it pops on at 34th Street where the Empire State Building is. So we get out of the train, we go through Penn Station, we go into a bank, and she's getting some money out. I don't want to give her a PIN number, but I'm watching it on the news, and a plane flies over us, and it hits the second building, and I'm watching it live. So right after that, I'm gonna go up on this hill because there's a lot of people, there's film cameras and photographers. That's the 9/11 memorial here in Jersey City, and I don't know what it's called, but so now that the second plane hits, we're still on 34th Street, and now I'm kind of freaked out. I'm like, well, one plane hits, okay. Two planes, not okay. A little weird, you know, what are the chances? Eddie Murphy says it's bullshit. Oh, you can't see it, Statue of Liberty's that way. So, second plane hits. I worked uptown, way uptown on 57th Street. It's where, yeah. So I decided to go downtown to about 14th Street-ish, no, 7th, I don't forget, but somewhere around there. That big building wasn't there. So, oh wow, that's better. So I decided to go down there. We're taking the subway. They stopped the subways, kick everybody out. Luckily it was pretty easy. They let us out at a stop. Some people had to go through like gutters or some weird stuff. And so we come out, both of the towers on fire. All the streets are blocked off. It's pretty crazy. All EMTs and stuff. I mean, at first, you know, they were clearing the streets so there was traffic, but eventually everything got kind of clear. It was all just like, yeah, the main arteries. Other streets were people walking. Anyway, everybody was walking through Manhattan. Everybody got kicked out of subways. Everyone's out of their office buildings or in their office buildings. But the word on the street as we're walking down was that there was anthrax in the airplanes. So I don't know if you know much about anthrax. The government likes to use it to tell senators to vote the way they want. Anyway, but so everybody's thinking that there's anthrax in the planes, and so, you know, we're scared, but like, what could you do then? So we kind of, you know, go into our office building, and we go up to whatever floor she was on. She was high up. We had, you know, like straight, it was just like looking like this directly at them. You had to like get close to the window to see the top. So we go to the window, and it's like right there, you know, you know, we're watching it burn, you know, all the, hey, let's go for a walk. We're watching it burn. Just, you know, we think it's definitely some terrorism. I mean, we didn't die, you know, with the anthrax. No one was coughing or anything, so who knows what was going on there. But there's a lot of people here. But, you know, we're watching it very close, and there's you know, you don't know, but you see things like falling out the windows, not knowing what they were. So it's, you know, I don't know how many hours it took. This is the memorial thing. Oh, let's go through this. So, is that a dog? Yep, that's a dog. Sorry. It's a cute puppy. So we're watching, and we have no idea really what's going on besides 2 planes hit. I don't think we knew anything about the other planes. I really can't remember that. Oh, I guess we were watching, must have been able to watch the news or something. But we go into her office, and we come back out because everyone starts screaming. They're like, the tower fell down, the tower fell down. And we ran out there to the window that had the crazy view, and sure enough, the first tower fell down. I guess that's this one right here. See how it looks like 2 towers? Can you see that? Well, that's kind of, yeah. So the first tower falls, and we go to the window. Oh look, there's pieces of it. That's fucking creepy. And we got there just in time to see, you know, like just the smoke started billowing, and yeah, it just eventually filled up the sky. We were in front of, we were uptown, you know, like maybe, I don't know how many, 10, 20 blocks or whatever. And, you know, whoops, I thought I'd stop it. We were uptown, and it was, the wind was blowing towards Brooklyn, so going that way towards Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. And so we could see everything. We saw the smoke coming out of it, but it was, you know, eventually after it cleared up, it, you know, we could see it clear because all the wind was blowing that way. And so, you know, definitely watching it again, it's just like, what the fuck? You know, an icon of my childhood growing up, like literally there's only one of them. Like, how does that even happen? Like, you know, my grandfather was a pilot, and he you know, had me flying airplanes as a little kid. And I know that the buildings, because they're designed for it, especially new ones, are designed to take a whack like that. So we're sitting there watching it. Eddie, oh, he's got a poop. There's Eddie Murphy, everybody. He wasn't around yet. He wasn't born yet. So we're watching it, and I'm not gonna be able to say this here. Let me just get some, the doggy. Let me just.
Sammy.
He's okay. He's okay. Yeah, he's alright. Eddie Murphy found a friend. Maybe not. You being nice? Come on. Nope. Be nice. Turned into a doggy party. So we're watching out the window, and you know, you see things falling out, and then the glass on the sides start buckling, breaking, like smashing out. And as soon as that happens, the wow, that's so crazy. Anyone's loading. People think it's cute. I don't know. If this wasn't really happening, this story part, I would not be like taking selfies here. But I don't know, I'm telling my story. Wow, it's so beautiful. but so sad. So as soon as the glass starts breaking, the sides of them like buckle out, you know, so it's straight like that, like my crooked finger, and then it starts going, and that's all the glass and things are, you know, coming out of it, and it just falls straight down, just like, you know, everybody's seen the videos of it. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like slow motion, but it was over pretty quickly, and then just more smoke, and it's just billowing everywhere. Hey Murphy, come on. All right, so now it's like, this is serious. You know, at first people were just talking about anthrax and shit, but now it's like both planes fell, and then you knew it was like the shit really just hit the fan. Yeah, so I don't know how long we stayed in her building, but I mean, you know, there's anthrax outside of the building. You know, luckily the wind, you know, was blowing south just like it is right now. It's blowing towards Brooklyn, so from where we were we could see it. Not covered in smoke. Eddie, what are you doing? So after it's hard to talk with all those people, but the next thing to do was to leave. So we decided to leave. So everybody's, you know, now leaving their buildings. I don't know if it was 10 minutes after it happened or hours after it happened. But we go outside and there's just, you know, all the people full of smoke, blood, that white powder, you know, all the dust and everything. People running, stores, you know, we're all just like giving people anything, like water, especially water. I mean, not anything, they weren't giving like Pop-Tarts, but the streets are completely filled with people not TikToking. That would have been real rude, but I guess it's acceptable now. Eddie, it must be a mouse. Come on. Oh, sorry, he's fine, he's fine. Come on. So we're walking, we walk all the way from wherever we were to Madison Square Garden, and just blocks around Madison Square Garden are full of people. Like, you know, the main arteries had all the cops going down. People were in shock. Yeah, there's F-16s flying over, you know, ahead, you know, yeah, so we're all trying to get into Madison Square Garden, and eventually they let us in. That's ironic, that's a train station. Used to be one in here in Jersey City. So okay, so much better. To continue the story, Eddie and I are now grounded. We took a little break because this is the hard part. What happens after, right? And there's geese flying. So we get to Penn Station. Oh, yeah, really? We get to Penn Station, still F-16s flying everywhere over us. We go inside, they finally let us in. We watch the news and they're saying none of the trains are running, but you know, we know it's bullshit because we're entering a train. So we get in the first train, right, you know, from where the Empire State Building is, and we get a seat even, and I started thinking, like, fuck, you know, other places at this point we definitely, I think, knew other places were attacked. I mean, just those two alone is, you know, enough to be really scared. Terrorism, you know, talking about anthrax. And so I'm thinking to myself, you know, we're going underneath the Hudson River. What's stopping them from putting some bombs there? You know, boom, flood everything, all the trains, all the cars. I mean, everybody knows what kind of flooding happened, you know, when all that, you know, I'm sure everybody knows the end of this story. So just even leaving, you know, Manhattan, going, you know, underneath the train tunnel was so fucking terrifying. And scary. I mean, just flat out scary. You know, after seeing both of those, well, I saw the second one go down, but holy cows. The lights above it, I mean, like above, right over in the area, it's just full of drones or birds. Can you see that? What the hell is that? You could see him, I think. So as soon as we get out of Manhattan, we finally get to Elizabeth. You know, definitely watched the news that day, but I did not watch anything about it after the day it happened. You know, just the day it happened, we're trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, you know, Elizabeth, you know, isn't that far away still. You know, we were just there. You know, is anthrax slow? You know, all the smoke and shit we were breathing in. You know, is that gonna slowly kill us? We have no fucking idea. So the day after, I had a gun at the time, nice SIG P220 45. I had it in my, you know, I was, you know, a sales manager for Verizon Wireless on 57th Street, and that's where I was heading. Had my suit on, had my whatever man bag where you put your, not a laptop, because they didn't, oh, I guess they had them back then. I don't think I had a laptop. No, I had a desktop at that time. But so I was going to bring my gun into Manhattan that day to go to work just in case, but realized that that'd be stupid, and I didn't. So we get out of the train and she goes back downtown. I don't even know if she went to work. She probably didn't go to work. I had to go to work because Verizon Wireless, cell phone companies, they needed communication. Oh, here's something. During the day, everybody downtown that did not have Verizon, I shouldn't have said their name. This is, I mean, they are the best, so whatever. That's why, you know, I did like selling for them, because they were the best, and after this day, it definitely proved it. But anyway, we were super busy. Our phones were the only ones working that day. So I don't know how we I guess we had a conference call, and they wanted managers in the city, you know, everywhere, obviously, you know, but a lot of places didn't go to work the next day. So we run into Manhattan the day after. I go uptown, 57th Street. We're getting phones, we're boxing phones up, sending them out to people downtown, and yeah, it was crazy to think, you know, what was going on. You know, just the day after, I'm there again in Manhattan, sending cell phones to all the AMTs and the fire, and just, you know, for government purposes, everything. Like, you know, it was a crazy day. Coming down here, you know, even like walking home, the trains were, I don't know if the trains were running, but just even, you know, days after, yeah, oh, because yeah, we were getting downtown, I don't know how, bringing the phones, yeah. So we were coming down and, you know, not getting close, you know, maybe, I don't know how many blocks away, but, you know, meeting people and then, you know, bringing the phones in. So I wasn't going like way down there. It was so amazingly beautiful because every time any cars drove, you know, down there, it was just EMT or, you know, fire and rescue, or, you know, like the good guys that, you know, fucking risked their lives that day and they all died. And whoo, those people died for what? So every time they would drive down or up or wherever, just the whole city was just cheering. You could just feel like the love. Where's that thing? The hell yeah, something coming this way. But you could just feel the love and the support for these people, you know, still going down there. I mean, I don't know if people know this, but they're all dying of cancer, you know, because all the shit that was burning in there that they were breathing in for weeks. I mean, so my girlfriend closed on the apartment in Chinatown with the, used to have a view. I mean, you literally had to like go to her window and look up to see the top of them. But yeah, you know, for weeks and months, I mean, I don't remember how long it was, but we were already moved in over there. And I remember one time the cab, they didn't have Ubers back then either. The cab went down the wrong street and came to that big section. It was between like two, you know, it was a street, so there was, you know, narrow and, you know, you could only see a little bit of it, but it was the, you know, the iconic piece of just like the corner that was all crumbled. And, you know, so we kind of like drove up to it, and, you know, like there's just like stories of rubble and just everything. The two towers, it was there, and then these things still sticking up. I don't know how many stories they were, but, you know, and that was the first time seeing it, because like ever, you know, maybe the next day I was watching the news, who knows, but I wouldn't watch it. I wasn't, you know, it was everywhere. So if we're trying to watch, you know, The Simpsons or something, you know, it's popping up and it's, you know, there, and, you know, so I'm changing the channel. We did have remotes, I think. Yeah, we definitely had remotes. But yeah, it's that was crazy. Where was I? I don't know. The only other parts of the story I had to deal with was just, you know, months and months of canceling people's accounts that had died. They lost their wives, their husbands, you know, hearing all the stories. I mean, one gentleman told me that he was, you know, some broker on X floor, and he was in the corner of the building. So the inside, you know, because the steel structure was on the outside, the insides were pretty much very open, huge, like call center types of places. And so he was standing there in the corner while the plane completely took out his whole office, and he somehow survived, you know. Another one of my customers, her desk was on the building 7 that was like across the street, and there's that one iconic picture of a big chunk missing, maybe that big, in the middle of the building, and that's where her office was. But she wasn't there, so she got to tell the story, and she became the one. Was it her or was it another customer? It might have been no, it was another customer. But she was the one. Yeah, those are all drones or something in the lights. I don't understand that. But she was the one that was responsible for issuing the death certificates for everybody. I mean, how fucking hard is that? Like, I'm a very emotional guy, and I probably cried every day, you know? Just day after day of all the stories, all the people coming in, trying to get their loved ones' voicemails. You know, we didn't have a way. I was, you know, telling people you got to get a recorder and put it to the speaker and play it that way. Yeah, that's my story. That's the you know, maybe day of in the first 6 months, years, I mean, after. And then now we kind of know, you know, what the real story was, because, you know, those guys that were flying the airplanes were definitely not skilled enough to fly into 2 buildings perfectly bullseyed like that. And also the whole Pentagon one and the one in Pennsylvania. There's another video that I went to check out the memorial in Pennsylvania, the one that they shot down. And, you know, you hear that, you know, you see pictures and like there's no airplane parts and everything really, and they just say that the plane crashed so hard it just like put a dent in the grass, because it was just this big grass field that was a farm. Now it's a memorial thing. But did the plane evaporated? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Titanium engines burn at, you know, whatever degrees. They don't just disappear. It's crazy. But whatever happened, I don't fucking know. But I was there and had to deal with that shit. Still deal with it. I guess that's why I kind of tell my story every year. It's definitely a sad one. It's definitely a sad fucking story. And, you know, the same people that shot JFK are probably the ones that did this shit. I hate politics, you know, but I don't know. I grew up as a Republican with my grandfather. Then I worked in Manhattan, and, you know, I never really liked any politics, but Obama came in and I was like, cool, man. You know, I got a black guy in president. You know, I'm definitely a lot more liberal. Still had my gun at that time. You know, I cried when he became president. It was beautiful, you know. You know, there's progress going on, you know. Back then I didn't know the true story about that shit or any of the real stuff that goes on in this world. But, you know, all the politicians after that are just lying motherfuckers. I guess Trump at least, you know, brought it to the table. I mean, he did a good thing with that, that's for sure. The current president is brain dead, apparently. I don't know, Kennedy is the only one talking about anything that could possibly change this fucked up system. But I don't know, who the hell is he? You know, he's saying all the right stuff, but at the end of the day, what happens? His wife's a movie star. Who knows? Is he going to those weird freaking crazy parties, or I don't know. So whatever happened that day, the real reason why it happened or what happened, I have no idea. I just know I was there and I saw that shit firsthand, and it changed my life. I mean, after that, waking up and realizing this world is bullshit, and living here in the city is bullshit. And that's why I bought, you know, I eventually left all that shit. You know, I wanted a better life. I didn't want to be relied upon other people for food and shit, or work in a stupid, crazy place like this where they're flying airplanes into buildings for, you know, whatever reason, whether it was terrorism or so we could attack a country. That's my belief. But I don't know. Now I'm in Texas, and definitely a lot happier in life. I gave up the, you know, high-paying job and the $1 million condo. I mean, my condo is probably was my house, my 2-family house and condo were both up on that cliff, and my view was probably, well, yeah, I couldn't see the Empire State Building unless I stuck my head out the window, but my view was this. Oh, and then to the Statue of Liberty, but there's a wall there now. I mean, I would have been able to see over it, but you know, I had a $1 million home with a $1 million mortgage, and now have a minivan and land in Pennsylvania and land in Texas, and I'm a lot happier. I got my dog Eddie Murphy, and I got a much better life. So that's the moral of the story, kids. Don't stay in school, get educated, follow your dreams, follow your passions, don't follow the bullshit, and you too can be happy, but you gotta write your own fucking story. All right, love you all. Dennis Allen out.